So if you're like me and a lot of other opera singers, you've been told throughout your training that vertical singing is great singing. And while that is true, that can often lead to a lot of misinterpretation and a misunderstanding into how that manifests in the body. We tend to refer to sounds as being vertical as opposed to horizontal. And a lot of singers like to make that an actuality. They like to make that by actually making the mouth do this. And while that can aid in some overtones that we want to enhance, that position is not actually ideal for singing for many reasons. First of all, if you see what's happening, this is kind of holding down, right? Now we are making a nice vertical shape. So there is something to that. But if you watch great opera singers, you'll notice they make many shapes, not just one, right? We kind of know about the ubiquitous bass baritone who's always in this position, right? So it can get very confusing because when we want to make a vertical sound, our immediate go-to is to make a kind of position. But the thing is, that's not as helpful as it seems. And we want to think about the verticality of the pharynx, which is actually not necessarily related to what's going on here. There's a verticality that happens in actual throat, in the oral pharynx, right? And that's that verticality that we hear of the sound. So obviously we're not trying to sing like this, right? Although we could potentially make that same embouchure with a vertical throat, as opposed to right? So you can see that the embouchure here is just another facet of the whole pharyngeal tube. And it's not the only thing that needs to be considered. So next time you're in the practice room and you're trying to get more verticality in your singing, don't just manipulate this and try not to over manipulate this. It must be in accordance with your face. So if your face normally doesn't look like this, probably when you sing, it doesn't want to either. You want to temper everything that you hear, everything. Any kind of positions you hear or anything like that, you always need to take with a grain of salt and kind of work with it in your body. And remember that great singing comes in all shapes and sizes.